From Cornwall to Birmingham and Johnston and Bexhill, here's Ruben Spire on the radio.
Rorie Kelly. How are you today?
I'm really good. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for letting me chat to you today. I can take you back when you first started. Can you tell me how long have you been a singer-songwriter for?
Well, since I was 13 years old, but I think I'm a lot better than I was when I was 13. I started learning guitar when I was 13, and I did it because I knew I wanted to write songs. And my first few songs reflected my level of skill. But I can't stop. It's like therapy for me, and I've learned that it helps me when I sing about what I'm going through, that other people feel they see themselves in it, and it helps kind of everybody heal a little bit. So let's see, I just turned 39, so over 20 years now. It's like one of those questions that makes you feel old.
Well, I won't tell you about that far. I'll tell you back to 2012. Can you tell me more about Fall to Feel It?
Oh, thank you for asking about that. Yeah, I wrote that song for a friend who he's a comedian. He's actually also a radio host, and that's kind of what he does. He does radio and podcasts. His name is Garrison Lakeham. He's a great guy. That's how we met. He had me on his podcast, and he did this journey where he took a comedy class and he had terrible stage fright, and like at the end of it had to get on stage and do a comedy set in New York City, which is like incredibly hard. I think it's harder with comedy than music. And he did a documentary of it, like he filmed it, and he was like, I want someone to write a song for this documentary. And I was like, me. I want to do it. And so I wrote a song about what it's like to try to make it in New York City, because it was like really parallel paths. And that so it's like it's the theme song, for his documentary, and I was able to release it as a single. And we recorded it in one weekend. Like, I wrote it, and then I like sent it to a drummer and a bass player, and I was like, let's do this. I've got a studio who will give me time. Let's do it. And so one weekend we recorded it, like mastered it as best we could and just got it out there. And that was like, that like low budget indie thing. It felt really good to be able to do that.
So, can you tell me more about Let You Down? What's that all about?
Oh, thank you for asking. It's about what it's like when you have a journey in your life and you know what you're supposed to do, and the other people in your life don't maybe see it that way. Like, I think I wrote it as an adult, but when you're in high school, everyone is kind of giving you advice. Everyone is like, well, here's what you should do. And especially me, I'm a full-time musician. And most of my life, people have been telling me not to do that. They've been like, that's a bad idea. You should have a backup plan. But they don't mean you should have a backup plan. They mean you should make your whole life about another career and just do this on the weekends. And I just can't do that. Like, this is my life. It's what I'm meant to do. And it's hard to have to let people down in your life. And that's what it really is about. It's like, in order to be true to myself, I'm going to have to let some people down. And that's really what that's about. And you find out who your true friends are and who really believes in you, when you're like, okay, I'm going on my path. I hope you're with me.
You can tell me more about Snowflake and Starlight.
So it's like my accidental holiday album. I have there's another local filmmaker here. We were talking a little bit before the interview about how much we both believe in community and helping, like artists helping artists. There's a local filmmaker here on Long Island. She's incredible. She just churns out movies. She's a screenwriter. And like me as an indie artist, she's like, I want to write, I want to get it out there. So she just does it. And she like challenged herself to do like 50 Christmas movies in 1 year or something like that. And then she did it. It's amazing. And so she reached out to me as a local musician, and she was like, do you have any holiday songs? And I was like, no, but I could write one. And I ended up writing a few for her different movies. And it was really cool. She would like send me the script, and I would be able to like really tell the story. And so then at the end of this, I had a few holiday songs, and I'm like, oh, And I really like the idea of them being holiday songs. I wrote them to be seasonal, but not have to be about Christmas because everyone has different like beliefs. But I think everyone can get with like the holidays and the season of like, you know, giving and being kind to each other. So I had a few of these songs that were in her movies. It was so cool. I got to see them on the big screen with my song like coming on the radio as the first thing in her movie. And then it was like November a couple years ago, and I was like, oh, I could put out a holiday EP. Like I could do that. And that's the cool thing about being an indie artist. You can just be like, oh, I could just do this. And you do. Um, so yeah, I put that out and I made a little video for one of the songs at home because I didn't have a budget, and I got a couple of dinosaurs and I got some fake snow and I got like a little miniature tree and I like made a little like stop motion video, and it was like it took me all day, but it was a lot of fun. So yeah, that's that story, and it's free. That one is available for like pay what you wish forever because I just feel like it's holiday music. People should just have it and enjoy it, you know?
Tell me more about your latest release, Make It Count.
So Make It Count is about treating yourself more like a unicorn and less like a workhorse. That is like, I'm kind of a spiritual person. I'm not always open about it, but I'll share it here. I'm kind of a spiritual person, and it doesn't mean I'm always like, I don't know what I really believe, but I know that it helps me. You know what I mean? And I was kind of having like a moment where I was having a hard time, and I kind of like got the message, you know, you need to start treating yourself more like a unicorn and less like a workhorse, like more like you are special and rare and you deserve to be celebrated, and less like, you know, a walking to-do list. And that like changed my life. I really thought about that and took it to heart, and like took a whole year to try to, like I called it my unicorn year last year. And I was like, what does that mean? And I wrote that song about that journey, about what it's like to like put yourself first and give yourself an adventure in your life, not just always be pushing and, you know, working. And I hope people take that away from it. I hope people value themselves more when they hear that song.
So, are you working on any new music?
I am excited. In the next few weeks, I'm going to be releasing a single called Saltwater. I'll send it to you as soon as I have the master. We actually just sent it out yesterday to the mastering person. And it is like, it's kind of about mystery. I wrote it thinking about when I was like a little girl, and my dad used to tell like ghost stories to me and my sister at night, which in retrospect is maybe not the best way to get a child to bed, like telling spooky stories, but we loved it. So it wasn't like tell me a story, it was like tell me a legend, Dad. And like this man, like he must have been exhausted, you know, like having to come up on the fly with like making up a story for us. But he told some amazing stories, and some of that energy got into that song of like just mysteriousness, you know, like not quite knowing what to believe. Is something supernatural happening? And I just wanted to write a song with that mood. And so that song is going to come out in October. And I think it's like good timing with like Halloween coming up and everything. It's called Saltwater. It's a little bit spooky.
So, tell me more. How's been an indie artist for you?
It's a lot of work, and it's really hard, and I can't imagine living my life any other way. I'm very committed. I've only been full time in the last 5 years or so. I had a day job for a bunch of years, but for me, that's always what it was. It was a day job, and I would come home and I would work on my real career. So I didn't get very much sleep in my 20s at all. And it wasn't because I was partying, it was because I was like working on my career. Um, but it's like it's the thing I think I was meant to do. And I think in the last few years, especially, I've realized that like I'm not helping anyone by keeping it small. I think that this music can help people. And I think that's what I'm meant to do, is help people lead their own best lives and be their biggest selves and do it through music. And so I'm just trying to get these songs out there to as many ears as possible. And every day it feels like a roller coaster. And that's how I know I'm living right. I know I'm like really living my heart when it feels like a roller coaster because I care that much. So that's what it's like. It's crazy. It's not for everyone.
So I know you got some gigs coming up. Have you got any future gigs coming up?
I do. I'm actually I'm thinking too about when this will air. I'm um, going to some conferences and playing a lot of in October. I'm playing a lot of private events. That's just a thing that kind of has happened in this month for whatever reason. But I'm playing in the subways now. There's a program called Music Under New York. If you're a New York City artist, and it's like it's not casual. Like you have to audition. It's like a whole thing. And I auditioned last spring, and I got in, and they give you like prime locations, like in the transit, like underground, to sing to people as they go by. So that's something that I'm now going to be doing all the time, like once or twice a week, and they schedule like week to week. So I don't even always get to put it on my website. I just stick it on Facebook and Instagram. Hey, I'm going to be I'm going to be on Union Square at Friday or whatever. So come see me. And that's been really cool and really rewarding because you don't know what you're going to get. I just show up and I've got my original songs and I'm playing and people can take it or leave it. And there's been some very inspiring experiences.
So, finally, can you tell me, listeners, where can they find you on social media?
Yes, thank you for asking. My name is Rorie Kelly. It's spelled Rorie Kelly. And if you search that name, you'll pretty much find me. I'm at Rorie Kelly everywhere, except for Instagram. There was already a Rorie Kelly taken, which I think is very rude. But on Instagram, I'm Rorie Makes Songs. So I'm on TikTok, Facebook, all those places. And I'm also streamable, of course, on Spotify and all that. So if you search my name, Rorie Kelly, you will find me.
Well, thank you for letting me chat to you today.
Thank you so much for chatting with. This is so fun. Thank you for everything you do. I really appreciate it.
And enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. Have a wonderful.
Goodbye, Roy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.